DJ, you go crazy.
Okay, so now going back to when, you was having your kids. You told us about the first one, and then 9 months later is when you had your twins.
Right.
G.I. and K.I.
Right.
Boy, girl.
Right.
Who was born first?
I want to say G.I. G.I. was born first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then K.I. came how many minutes later?
She was 13 minutes later.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty close, right? For twins?
Yeah. He was like 6:17 p.m. She was like 6:30 p.m. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
K.I. being born at 6:30 p.m. and being from 63rd is crazy.
Yeah, ain't it? Ain't it
start
crazy?
there.
It's crazy. A lot of subliminals. It's crazy.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so tell us, though, about K.I. as a child.
Man, K.I. was a sweet child. She always been like a tomboy, though, because she had two big brothers. So if they was jumping off the roof, she gonna jump off the roof, too. You know what I'm saying? Put on the Easter dress, come back in. It's looking like I got it from the rummage sale, rolling around in the dirt. Like I say, jumping off garages, jumping over fences, So she was real sweet. She was a sweet girl, but she was just kind of tomboyish. She ain't like ponytails and barrettes and stuff like that. I used to make her, put on skirts and dresses, but she was so tomboyish, She couldn't really get that up out of her. But yeah, as a young child, she was real sweet. She was smart. She went to like prestigious schools. I paid money per year for my kids to go to these certain schools. So, she was real smart, like knowledgeable about a lot of stuff, some stuff I probably would have never figured out in my grammar school or high school days, but she was real smart girl.
Right.
Real smart, pretty too.
Yeah.
Pretty too.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to tell her, you a pretty girl, but you're an ugly boy, So we used to joke about that.
Yeah.
When she put on her little Timbs and her button-ups. And, I used to be like, man, I don't like that look. But as a female, you top notch. Something like your mama,
Right.
Right.
And so when I was doing my research, I learned that K.I.'s father died just a few months after she was born, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This happened Easter Sunday, 1997.
Right.
He was gunned down in front of his home.
Right.
Okay. Can you tell us the type of guy K.I.'s father was?
He was a decent guy, he really ain't bother nobody, unless somebody bother him. But, kind of got caught up in that street stuff, in his area and that little gang stuff, Word was he got out on a nigga, fist fighting. The nigga couldn't take the ass whooping, came back blasting, So, with that happening, it just kind of, put a hole in me a little bit, So yeah, and then, it was Easter Sunday, I had took the kids, to some family members earlier that day. I was going to take them back over to him. And then, I got a phone call saying, this so-and-so, we need you down at Cook County Hospital, So, yeah, that happened a couple months later.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you have experienced some trauma in these Chicago streets.
For sure.
And thank God you still here to at least share your experiences with us.
Yeah.
You're able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And shout out to you for having the strength and the courage to talk about these things.
Yeah. Yeah. I it's going on 10 years, with my daughter, but I think with a lot of mothers that lose their children this way or to the streets, period, you don't really get a grieving process, like just alone, and because everybody don't want you to be alone, and everybody is you okay, and break down and that. But because I never really, to this day, never really got that grieving process, so it just comes in waves where like today I might be good, her birthday I might not be good or something like that. But I know she keeping me strong, you know what I'm saying? Like after that happened, everybody wanted me to fold and break and, but I couldn't do it. I got other kids, I got 5. So, I know she keeping me strong, you know what I'm saying? I hear in my ear like, man, OG, you know what I'm saying? You got this. She's always say, OG, call me OG. If she wasn't saying mine, she's saying OG.
Right.
But, she keeping me strong. And over the last 10 years, it don't get no better. Like they say, time heals, and it really don't. Cause with the feeling when it come through to you, it be like it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Even though 10 years is a long time, but the feeling, like I can remember the phone call, I can remember getting to the scene, I can remember the doctors coming out in Northwestern saying, pronouncing her dead, said we couldn't save her, like the look on their face, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I even had dreams and, you know what I'm saying, different, thoughts and stuff about it, because when it hits you, it's like it just happened, but yeah, it's been a minute though.
Word. And I'm glad you're sharing your perspective, right? Because as I stated earlier, we hear about her name so much, but we don't know how this affects the family. We don't know how the family really feel.
Right.
We just scrolling and liking and commenting and keeping
Right.
it going.
Right.
But this is something that you have been dealing with for the last 10 years. This month, make. How do you cope with dealing with grief?
Well, over the years, I lost a lot of people that I love, So, when it's a child, it kind of hit different, but I kind of look to my other kids, you know what I'm saying, to help me cope, and bring my spirits up, And then, sometimes I get on the internet and look at videos and, pictures of her and stuff like that. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it just make it worse, but just depending on what type of reaction I'm having off of it, just depending on how I cope. So if I'm like real sad, I might bring the obituary back out. I might look through some videos just to hear her voice and, something like that. Or, I might talk to her twin, like, laugh with him or something for a moment. Right. Just depending on what type of wave it hit me at the time.
Right. So what are your thoughts of like K.I., her name is just as big as like a Chicago rapper.
Right.
But she never made a rap song.
Right.
But it's like these drill fans, they just so fascinated with the stories about her. With you being a mother, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I like to, like the people who really don't know, that's like from somewhere else, but so fascinated with everything that from that era and that hood and her, like, I just want motherfuckers to know, like, it ain't really like it's a facade because people live this real life, but it ain't just all what they think it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you get in the field, it's hard to get out the field. You know what I'm saying? Once they say you in, only way out is, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't just, we making drill music, we got guns in the video, people living everyday life, you know what I'm saying, like that, where they gotta go outside strapped up, you know what I'm saying, where they gotta watch every car riding past and stuff like that. So a lot of people, I be wanting them to know, like, man, y'all could comment and do all that. I take all the backlash, you know what I'm saying, because I lived it. So all the backlash and comments you want to give me, I'm all for it, because you don't know what I've been through. Everybody got a story. Some stories are more amazing than others where people, I can't believe that, and stuff like that. And then, people want to point the finger, oh, you a bad mother and this and that. And my kids, never went without nothing. They didn't have to go rob none of that. They didn't have to do none of that. Anything that transpired that wasn't under a godly effect, they didn't have to do none of that. They never went without eating. They never had the lights off. They never went without clothes and shoes. You know what I'm saying? I kept a car, a crib, and a job, what a black woman's supposed to do, with or without a man. I kept a car, a crib, and a job. So, they didn't never have to be out there in the streets for no reason at all. So some of the choices they made, that she made, kind of like was her own effect. You know what I'm saying? There was no real reason. Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I'm broke. Oh, my mom ain't give me this. It wasn't no reason for like that. But it's easy for people to comment and point the finger, you know, which I understand. I'm not mad at them, you know, because I know what I lived. I know what I did. I know how I live, you know, so.
DJ, you go crazy.